What's going on, guys? Your boy Joe Shake72 coming to you guys with a video right now. So I want to go over preseason and a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of good things actually came out of it. And you know, it's the first preseason game, very first ever fucking game of the year. So you know, got to take that with a grain of salt. Can't overly criticize because more guys are going to get chances. So we'll see what happens, you know, with the next week. But there are a lot of players to talk about. So let's get straight to it. Fletcher Cox, beginning of the game, showing his dominance and, you know, beating David DeCastro, getting a sack on Landry. Fletcher Cox is the $1 million man. Fletcher Cox is unstoppable. Fletcher Cox is a power to be reckoned with. Overall, if you just look at this defense, the defensive line today, the fucking pressure was there. This defense is going to give a lot of pressure. And between that, Jim Schwartz sending a 7-man rush tonight. Ballsy. Sending a 7-man rush on that Pittsburgh offense. Wow, that's crazy. He's not afraid to take chances. I know it's preseason, so it's good to practice it. But Fletcher Cox, man, you know, I hope he has a really good year. All these defensive linemen, you know what I mean? It's not really all about the sacks this year. It's all about getting pressure on the QB and getting these, you know, running backs behind the line of scrimmage. So that's all that really matters. So Fletcher Cox, I was really happy to see him kind of start. And as long as they had him in the game, I was very surprised. I want to go to Corey Clement now. Corey Clement actually received some punts today, surprisingly. Didn't really have anybody because, you know, Donnell fucking Pumphrey decided not to fucking play today or whatever the hell's wrong with him, because that's really going to help him make the damn roster. Not even going to get on that fucking subject. But Corey Clement, every time he would get the ball, positive yards, you know, what would have been like, you know, short of a first down, broke a tackle and got the first down. So Corey Clement looks a lot sharper. He's kind of, you're not really going to know when he's going to cut. When he's running, you're thinking he's going to go one way, he goes a total another way. Shortcut, you know, runs very good east to west. Looks a lot better running east to west. You know, really excited to see him run this year into his second year and really take off with this offense. So happy for Corey Clement, and, you know, he's going to be doing good going forward. Nate Sudfeld, well, 133 yards, a pair of touchdowns, and had an up and down night. Okay, Nate Sudfeld, there were times where he threw the ball too early. There was one time where Bryce Treggs didn't run the right route, miscommunication with the wide receiver. Unfortunately, Nate Sudfeld made some mistakes. You know, I wasn't thinking he was going to have a perfect game because I talked very high on him, but I didn't think he was going to have a perfect game. But threw a couple picks. You know, sometimes throwing the ball too, you know, sometimes not trusting that running back to get that block, you know what I mean? And throwing it too early, throwing it too late, or, you know, and then progressively he got a little bit better. And once he started working that pocket and he started jumping around and he started finding his targets, he looked actually pretty good. So, you know, really can't complain. You know, Nate Sudfeld, we're going to really see more of him in this preseason. But a lot of ups and downs, like I said before, and there's only, you know, it's the first preseason game, so I can't really criticize him so much until I get an overview of him by the end of the last preseason game. But so far, so good for Nate Sudfeld. Few mistakes, but he'll capitalize on those. Jaylen Mills especially looked very good, a lot different that I've seen in the past 2 years. And Jaylen Mills, I saw him on a wide receiver screen beat the wide receiver off a block and make a tackle in the backfield. Looks a lot sharper coming off blocks, not getting, you know, tagged in there too much. But, you know, like Jim Schwartz said, Jim Schwartz was right about Jaylen Mills. Looks a lot sharper, had a really good camp, and it has shown in preseason in this first game. So I'm excited for Jaylen Mills. Nice little pass breakup, doing his thing. So Jaylen Mills is going to be really exciting to see. And I think he's pretty much locked down that outside corner spot. I don't think he'll ever get that taken away from him. He's got way too much in him, and for this defense to take him off or you know, put down on the pedestal, so to say. So we'll see about that going forward. Jay, well, had a 22-yard run from the 1-yard line. We were backed up. Looks like a violent runner, playing for that fucking contract next year, and he's making every bit of it count. I think he lost his shoe on that run too, but he kept going. So I'm happy to see Jay. He looks like he's he's got a lot in the tank, and he's ready to fucking unleash what he's going to unleash this year with these other running backs. So I'm proud to say that Jay Ajayi is going to be doing some good things this year, sharing that ball, sharing the rock around. And, you know, didn't play too much, was very good on blocking, so watch him on some blocking, you know, picking up the extra blitz guy, and doing a good job with that too. So, you know, I'm very comfortable with Jay Ajayi moving forward. Showed a lot in this preseason game, so I'm expecting not him to get a tense load of carries because we have other running backs that really need the rock. So I'm good with Jay Ajayi and where he's at right now. Dallas Goedert, amazing. About 4 catches, 66 yards, pair of touchdowns. Dallas Goedert, 4 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown. A very good day for Dallas Goedert. He looks like the real deal is where he left off of training camp. He is the player that we all thought he would be. Having that 15-yard touchdown, having a 26-yard catch as his first catch, actually dropped the catch, an easy catch, but he kind of looked up the field before he even caught the ball, so that's why he did not catch the ball. But running up the seams, they talked about him running up the seams with Zach Ertz, a player. They kind of, you know, they're just like Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert are just like each other. But, man, that guy can get separation. He can get wide open. And when Carson Wentz extending plays, I can see this guy open. He's a huge mismatch, especially if a 2 tight end set. He's a big boy, and he can, you know, take the reins and you know what I mean, work into this offense. And he looked like a fucking natural out there, like a fucking natural. So happy about Dallas Goedert and what he's bringing to the table. You know, I thank the fucking Lord we picked him up, because not only one guy, you know, they have to worry about in Zach Ertz, but 2 guys running up the seams. And you know, not knowing where they're going with these the excellent route running from both guys. Dallas Goedert actually was blocking pretty well in this game too. So it's one thing that Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert were pretty much, you know, put down the pedestal for, was, you know, they didn't really block much in college, and now they're becoming those blocking role players, now helping out the team. So Dallas Goedert, beautiful fucking day. I can't wait to see more of him in this preseason, because he's definitely going to get more work. So I'm excited about Dallas Goedert. I want to go to Rasul Douglas. Had a really up and down day today, okay? For the first preseason game, wasn't that bad, you know what I mean? So he didn't really do horrible, but he could do better, all right? He got burnt by Juju Smith-Schuster on a 71-yard touchdown pass. Unfortunately, the 2 times he missed on a jump ball for another touchdown, and unfortunately for Rasul Douglas, he just kind of put his body in the wrong spot on these 2 touchdowns. He just literally put his body in the wrong spot. I think he just had mis-eye coordination with the ball, and sometimes he'd be a little bit too far, or sometimes he'd be away, you know, a little bit more ahead. So he's got to put his body in the right spot to make plays and do some good things. See, all the shit that's going around that, you know, we have Rasul Douglas on the trade block, or he's going to be up for, you know, a trade or something like that. So I don't know what's going on with that. But Rasul Douglas came back fighting. He made some tackles behind the line of scrimmage, made some nice tackles, and he got a pick today, and read it himself, because Jeremy Reeves wasn't even in the right spot. Safety Jeremy Reeves was not even in the right spot, and Rasul Douglas read that play, came up with the pick. And made some tackles. So, you know, not a bad day, but not a great day. Allowed 2 touchdowns. But, you know, this is why he's not really starting. I don't project him to be starting at all with this secondary depth piece. You know, but he's getting a lot of work in. So I see a lot more work coming towards his way. You know, and we'll see down the road what happens with this whole speculation trading a corner or whatnot, what's going on with that. But very proud to say that, you know, Rasul Douglas is, you know, he's fighting for a spot. He's fighting for a roster spot, and we'll see where it takes from there. I want to go to Josh Sweat, okay, the defensive end from Florida State. Josh Sweat, you know, he had a late hit on a quarterback, which was not smart, cost the 15-yard penalty, which, you know, gave him a first down, which they ended up scoring a touchdown. So Josh Sweat, you know, I've seen him kind of lock horns with, you know, these tackles, kind of really not going anywhere, not really making any moves. He's kind of bull rushing and you know, kind of trying to get to the quarterback. And he's gotten pretty close a few times, but I think he just needs a little bit more work. You know, there's really not much more to say about him. I think he just needs more work. Other than that, you know, that's what I really get out of this whole thing with Josh Sweat. But, you know, nothing to worry about Josh Sweat. I think he'll be a good player down the road. I just need to see more out of him with these preseason games. I just need to see more of Josh Sweat and see what he could do. Because I was watching him pretty closely, too. And most of the time, he was kind of just... He was getting in on the group tackles, but he wasn't, like, standing out as much as I thought he would be. But there's nothing wrong with that because a lot of these, you know, with this defensive line we have right now, it's anyone's play, and as a group, we're only going to amount to something as a group with this defensive line, and that's all that matters. So I got to see more of Josh Sweat, but he looks pretty promising. He can get pressure, but there's some plays where he just kind of runs out of gas, and he's just like standing there, and he's like fighting with the tackle, you know, kind of in a standstill moment. So, you know, got to see more from Josh Sweat. Sidney Jones almost left the game, had a high ankle sprain, and we thought he was on one knee, and we all fucking had a big scare that something happened. It reminded me of when he got hurt, you know, on his pro day when he tore the Achilles. And thank God, he's okay. High ankle sprain, he taped it back up, he went back in. He was all over the field making tackles. He ended up getting a helmet-to-helmet penalty, which fucking, I can't stand this fucking rule. It's going to fuck so many teams over. It's probably going to fuck us over a few times. I can already see it happening. But Sidney Jones looks very good. He looks fast. He's all over the field. He's making quick tackles. And he looks like he's becoming a hard hitter. And he doesn't move back. When the guy comes after you, he's going to put pressure on you, making a tackle. So Sidney Jones, I can't wait to see more of him in preseason. See what he can do. But, you know, I'm all hope for Sidney Jones, looking very good. In the nickel spot, too. Didn't play outside, just in the nickel spot. So, can't wait to see more of Sidney Jones. Nate Gary and Camu Grugier-Hill are going to be competing for the third linebacker spot. Both of these guys actually did all right. I think Camu actually played better today. Nate Gary was kind of like, it was really hard for Nate Gary to get off blocks. It's probably his one thing. He's really, once someone blocks him, he's kind of fucking done. So, you know, Nate Gary, you know, I think Camu will win this spot so far, but Camu was all over the field making tackles. Backfield, you know, tackle for loss, attacking guys out of the backfield. It was great. Camu was all over the field, doing pretty damn good. He did a lot more than what Nate Gary did today. And Camu looks promising for the job right now over Corey Nelson, over Joe Walker. You know what I mean? And both of these guys are safeties turning into linebackers. You know what I mean? And Grugier-Hill is one of our best special teams guy from last year. Played special teams very well last year. So Camu with a great day. So let's keep it going with that. Nate Sudfeld throws a 63-yard touchdown to Sheldon Gibson. Wow, Sheldon Gibson with the touchdown today. You know, mismatch, speed. I loved it. I was really surprised that he actually did anything. I mean, I thought that, you know, he wouldn't get a few snaps. He wouldn't do much. Sheldon Gibson got a fucking deep touchdown today, and that was exciting to watch. Fighting for a roster spot, it's hard. Marcus Wheaton wasn't playing. You know, other than the other guys that I mentioned that weren't playing at wide receiver, Marcus Wheaton wasn't playing either. So Sheldon Gibson got a lot of the reps today as well. And, you know, if he could show off that he can consistently do this and even slant passes or any type of routes that he can do, if he can end up doing this, be very happy to see him get a roster spot. You know, I didn't see much of Greg Ward do anything, but Sheldon Gibson on that one, I mean, that was pretty much, I don't know if he touched the ball other than that, but Sheldon Gibson showed that he could beat guys one-on-one, and he's worked his ass off doing it this training camp. You know, a better training camp this year than last year, definitely 100%. You know, trying to get to the scheme, and you know, last year just couldn't really get everything that was going on, and he wasn't ready. So good for Sheldon Gibson. Was very happy for him, so I'm happy with that. Devontae Bosby played nickel and outside a lot of this game. He was switching both positions. They had him. I guess they're going to they're going to cross him up a little bit, kind of know both positions. But Devontae Bosby, they spoke very highly of Devontae Bosby today during the game. And I've been watching him during this game, always jumping in front of the receiver, trying to bat the ball down 2 times in a row. He did it twice in a row, not falling for the double move, defended that very well, and always getting his hand on the ball. Almost had a pick that would have led to a touchdown if he, actually caught the ball. But, man, for a guy that's been cut 6 times off teams, Devontae Bosby is going to have a roster spot on this team. But there is competition. Sidney Jones, Devontae Bosby for the nickel spot. I think Sidney Jones will win it, of course. But the Bosby will be right behind Sidney Jones in that nickel spot this year. And then outside, I think Bosby plays better in nickel than he does outside. But from what I saw today, what happened at camp, all that shine, all that flash that he was showing in camp has turned over to the preseason, and that's a very good thing. So let's keep that going as well. I want to go to Josh Adams, okay? We didn't see Josh Adams till the 3rd quarter today, and I have a feeling that this man is going to get a lot more snaps than I thought. And when you give this guy a lane, I can't imagine him with the starting offensive line. You give this guy a lane, a vertical runner. He doesn't have to go too vertical, but if he has kind of like a straight line where he's going, he's not really an east to west type of back. He's more slower going outside than he is going full speed ahead. But when I saw him, when he puts his foot in the ground and goes forward, he runs through everybody, and he's very physical. He is a bruiser 1 step back, and he's definitely shown that today. I want him to get more snaps. He's definitely going to get more snaps. Matt Jones, the ex-Redskin running back, he wasn't even playing today, so that's 1 day loss for him. See if he's back for next week, but I like Jamal. I always call him Jamal Adams. Josh Adams. Josh Adams has a high ceiling right now, and he's got to get more snaps. Got to see more from him, because what I saw from the few times he would run the ball today, and when he's running straight shot up, and there's a little bit of room, he gets through pretty damn easily, and he could pack a punch in the line. So very, very excited to see what's going to happen with this, but I'm excited. Isaac Samalo just was, again, snapping the ball over the quarterback's head. Even Carson Wentz wouldn't even be able to fucking catch that shit. You need Shaquille O'Neal behind there to fucking catch that ball. So Isaac Samalo, Chance Warmack, not doing squat. Avant Maddox is another guy I watched today, and he made some plays today. I think he missed on a jump ball. I think he's just got to be consistently physical. What they're saying, I guess, consistently physical on the jump balls, but he doesn't, Mike Mack said that he doesn't really panic too much, which doesn't look like he does when the ball's up in the air. He's not like flipping out, like waving his hands, and he's very calm when he's covering, and he's got quick feet. He can stay in the hip pocket of the receiver, and he took some corners almost out of bounds from his coverage. And Avant Maddox, I think, could be a depth piece on this team. I think he can actually make this team, guys. I didn't really hear much. He had a strong camp, but he has a strong ceiling to at least make a push, because he's got that inner fight in him, like Jaylen Mills. He's got that inner fight, and he doesn't give up. So Avant Maddox done some really good things today, okay? It wasn't perfect, but made at least one mistake today, maybe two. But really, consistently today, he did pretty damn good on coverage. So I really can't complain about that. So the more corners, the better. Competition still rising that corner spot. So let's keep an eye on that. So the punter, Cameron Johnson, got to see him punt a few times today. Pretty damn good punter, okay? He punted from the 6-yard line. He punted an 81-yard punt. I mean, that shit was far. And if that works out, if he could punt 81 yards like that easily, like that, I know it was only once, but then, most of his kicks were pretty consistent. Cameron Johnson's got a leg on him. And I didn't think he was anything. And they were saying a lot of good things. I'm like, I guess he does have a strong leg. Let's see. And I saw this punt, and I was like, wow, some promise. So probably going to be better than Donnie Jones. Who knows? So that's all I got to say about this game. We lost 31-16. We got slaughtered, but it doesn't matter. This is about evaluating individuality of each players, checking their strengths, seeing who's bringing what to the table. Don't care about the loss. I don't care. This isn't about beating the Steelers. This is about making our guys better to get ready for the regular season. So that's really all I got to say, guys, and that's about it. So hope you guys had a good day today. Sorry I couldn't get the stream running. Game Pass was screwing up today. I don't know what the hell happened, so that was about it. But that's it, guys. So Shakes got up, fly or slide.